I want to talk about where you grew up and what was the community you grew up in? What was it like when you were growing up on the North Shore? Some of your earlier memories.
Oh, it was pretty fucked in the beginning, tell you the truth. Excuse my language. I don't know about swearing on this podcast, but
We
when I
we
was four.
we fucking swear on this podcast.
Well, being the son of Eddie Rothman wasn't always the easiest thing. I mean, he was indicted on multiple charges, facing I don't know how many years, $5 million bail. So he tells the judge, "Hey, make it. Once you raise it another million, you can call me the $6 million man." So you'd have the highest bail ever in Hawaii. That being said, I mean, 72 police officers to arrest one guy, smashing down our door, holding a gun to my head. Don't fucking move. I'll fucking kill you. I'm like, what do you mean don't move? What is a 4-year supposed to do? I'm going to cry. I'm going to run away to find my parents. I don't know what is what, and treating my mom the way that they did that day really had a shitty start to life. The PTSD, the traumatic stress that put on my body really led to a lot of, I can't say that was the reason. It led to me making bad choices, and anybody that's been through it knows that there's no blaming anybody but yourself, and it was pretty shitty. I grew up on the beach right behind my house here, right where my dad's house is, right next to it. I lived in a tent. We didn't have no house, Dad was in jail. I lived at grandma's or uncle's. It was fucking junk. My mom and my dad divorced and they had a really, really bad time. My grandma's brother was supposed to kill my mom. He even told me when I got older, boy, lucky for you. I loved you because I have the same name as him, Makua Kai. And if it wasn't for you, I would have killed your mom a long time ago. And he's dead now. But, to tell a boy that your uncle was supposed to kill his mom, stuff like that, it was pretty fucking shitty. And I'm so blessed that I had that life here in Hawaii, and I had the ocean, and I had my friends, and I had a lot of things. Even though I didn't have material things like houses and all these shit, I had great grandmas, I had great aunties, I had great uncles, I had great friends around. And it didn't come to me until later on in life to understand that I did have things then. Felt like I was the shittiest kid in the world, and having underlying things led me to ultimately, do a lot of partying, doing a lot of fucking stupid shit, drinking, drugs, whatever it was, in a certain time of my life, it was fucked. And that's why I'm so blessed to be here today, being a world champion, being a World Cup champion, taking all of that shitty experiences. And it made me the man I am today. It made me go through hard times. It made me go through fucking shitty, lowest of lows, and to get to where I am today and to be hungry. And one of the best things one of the things I always loved was when people said, "Oh, you're only going to be like your dad. You're only going to be like your dad." People tell me, "You can't eat surfboards. What are you going to do? Boil the surfboard and eat it?" And being a fat kid with asthma, it was shitty. I was teased a lot, and I really love making people eat their words. You're never going to be this. You'll never do that. I became a world champion. I became the World Cup champion, became a world towing champion, became a father. And not only a father, I think I'm a great father. A lot of people tell me you're such a good dad, and being given the opportunity to share a better life with my children and watch them not have to go through what I had to go through. And, a lot of the things that my dad did, he had to do it for us to have a better life, maybe, and that was the cards that he was dealt in life, and there would never put no blame on him. And I'm so thankful that he did do what he did, and he is who he is, because I wouldn't be in this position in life as well, because at a point there, he was the guy, you know what I mean? And you came here and you showed respect. And, but he had to go through a lot of things, and he has his own story. But you want to know how I grew up? I grew up pretty fucking shitty. And but nowadays I realize that I actually had a really, really awesome support group around me, and everybody that helped me through those times. I love you guys.
It's such thank you, number one, for being so candid. And then number two, the thing that comes to mind for me is, your dad is, world famous, maybe infamous, maybe
That's
notorious.
the
And
word.
and on one side of that, like people from the outside looking in are like, as you said, there's this expectation level for people in his family, for his sons, to deliver whatever they do, right? Because there's already this global recognition for someone like your dad. But that notoriety, as you described, also comes at a price. Like there's real cost for someone like yourself having to go through shitty situations. So it must have been doubly hard going, yeah, like everyone knows who we are. Everyone thinks we have all this stuff. We have nothing, So not only do I have to deal, there's just a huge delta in expectation from people.
Fuck people's expectation. That's what I say. That's why I love proving them wrong. And I never let that part of it get me down. People got to understand that, especially nowadays with the internet and the stuff people write on, like, people get so caught up in their own life about, oh my God, they think this of my family, they think that of him. And people like live their lives around what other people think. It's insane. And that's one thing my dad always taught me. You be you, boy. You don't worry about nobody else but yourself. You do you, you're going to be fine. Trust me. I've been around this world a long time. And a lot of that street smarts that my dad gained through his hard life, he had, look at him. He's a 5 foot, Jewish guy that came here and got the respect that he earned with coming from nothing. I mean, he definitely went through trials and tribulations. And a lot of times he said, boy, you only walk down this road once. You're not going to get another chance to do this. And I've been down that road. I know it's down there. You can go down there if you want. I'm just trying to help you out, and it was always like, I fought with him. We had our disagreements, and, it's all about dads aren't going to steer you the wrong way. They're not going to want to see their son go on a shitty path. And if you do that, that's on you. And, all that he said, she said, pressure on me, I just kind of did what I had to do. And we're here today. Like I said, it's all up to you and how you take that pressure and how you take that, how people perceive you, and, like what you're saying, or your family, infamous, this, that. Yeah. And what? Fuck you guys. You know what I mean? At a certain point, you got to say that, because if not, you're going to start living your life how these other people dictate it. And that's not right.
How's your relationship with your dad today?
Oh, I love him. He's right there on my wall. Check it out. My mom is such a strong, wonderful lady as well. We can't forget my mom. My mom is put a lot of this talent that's in this body comes from my mama. And she didn't have the easiest, best time either. And whatever happened in the past and between us, we put it all behind us. And I love her. And now she has the chance to be there for the children. Like I said, my mom is lucky to be alive, through those times and things. And sometimes when she wasn't around, I was mad at her, but I understood that it wasn't her fault, and there's a lot of people in this world that can relate to not having a mom or not having a dad or this or that. And at the end of the day, you've got to look deep inside right here. And what is it that you want to do? What legacy do you want to leave behind? What can Makua Kai be on his own 2 feet? And not blame, I didn't have a mom, I didn't have a dad, that's why I did this. No, you didn't do that because you made a stupid choice. And a lot of people don't have moms. A lot of people don't have dads. And they choose to cut through the bullshit and make it happen. So there'll always be that lonely little void in there. But I'll tell you that, being a little boy and not being able to see your mom or your dad, and it hurts, and I don't think it ever goes away. But growing up, and understanding and really looking into why these things happen, and understanding and forgiving. A lot of it goes to forgiving what happened in the past to move on.
Yeah. And I mean, as you said too, like I'm a father as well. Like, I think it sounds like you've taken that and said, well, I'm going to take the best of what I learned and the best of what I got and give it to my kids, and not try to give them the worst of me, which is kind of what we all try to do, right?
Well, it's always a good plan. There's no book for parenting, right? And so we can always say this, and that, and next moment it's that. So, even being a parent, we all have our flaws, you and me both. We mess up here and there, and there's things that we could have done better that we were going to do better next time, right? And as long as we have the best interest in the children and make sure that they're taken care and loved. I mean, a lot of things I see nowadays, children just aren't loved. It's not because they're on their iPad or they're on this. It's because their parents are too busy on their iPad or at work, and they come home, don't talk, I got to do this. And the kids are just stuck on this pad. I mean, I just see a lot of the problems and stuff with the younger generation nowadays is they weren't genuinely loved by anyone. There was always almost a burden on parents. And I feel that that could be a lot of the reason that, you know, things happen in children. And speaking from my own experience, you know, I really think that genuine love, that really holding your son or daughter tight and kissing them and really telling them how much you love them every day is a big part of them, I think. Hopefully my children grow up to be wonderful people. I don't know yet, but I'm going to try my best to show them as much love as possible. I think more important than anything as well.
Makes me think of, I can't remember where I saw or heard but Bobby Martinez recently said something about parenting too. And he goes, you know, like I hear a lot of people like, I have to take my daughter to do this. I have to take my son to do that. And he said, like, I just changed it to say, like, I get to take my daughter to do this. I get to take my daughter to do that because I want to be there, you know, and I feel like I'm very fortunate that I get to do that. And that sounds like a real similar pivot, you know, that you're acknowledging as well.
Well, you know, Bob was one of the real ones. He speaks his mind and he speaks the truth, whether people like it or not. And we've all seen that. And, you know, Bobby's a dear friend of mine, and I feel, you know, he's that California style of how we are. You know, we get down, we do what we got to do, and we stay true to ourselves regardless. You know, the people sell out way too fast a lot of the times, and they do what other people want them to do, and they live that way, or they try and be like someone else. It's like there's already that guy. You can take what he has in his program and do it yourself. But people are trying so hard to be like someone else that they forget to be themselves. And nowadays there's so much bullshit and fake stuff, they want to call it fake news, internet stuff, this or that you get caught up real easy, and people can really see a genuine person that's doing themselves and not trying to be like someone. And that really cuts through, and it'll show. You know what I mean? It's something that really stands out nowadays if you're a real one or not.
Do you like that? Well, if so, subscribe over there and then watch more videos over there. And then tell us your favorite videos down there. It's a 3-step process. Do them all now.